Welcome to part 3, the final stage of the Baja Series. In today's video, we're going over 400 kilometers into the backcountry as we follow the Baja 1000 track north. Hold on to your seats. This is a big adventure. We're going through some of the harshest terrain that I've ever experienced in my truck. We're gonna cover more ground in 2 to 3 days than we did in 5 on the way down. And it's gonna take a toll on the truck. We'll run into issues deep in the backcountry that leave us questioning whether we're gonna be stranded. But around every corner, there will be a beautiful sunset to keep us going. But as we learned in parts 1 and 2, it's what happens after night falls that you have to worry about in the deep backcountry of Baja. And this time, we're gonna be out in the dark again. Welcome to Baja by nightfall.
Alright guys, I've been joined by some other travelers here. We got a Sportsmobile, Mercedes Sprinter, and an Earth Roamer, and just met up with these guys and had some good chats. Francisco and Francisco, father and son, are from Ensenada, and Francisco Jr. lives in San Francisco, and then the other couple in the Earth Roamer is Aaron and Ruth, if I am not mistaken. They're traveling all the way down to Panama, so really good chat with these guys, amazing perspective, and the Franciscos just offered me some tacos, so I'm gonna hang out. Super grateful right now to have some people to chat with. It's a long hot day here. It's the only time I've stayed somewhere for more than one day, and I'm gonna soak it in, and I think tomorrow, ready to go, start heading north again.
Con unos frijolitos en la tortilla. Come frijoles. Los frijoles los puedes calentar en el micro. De los enteros no, hijo, de los otros. Refrito. Pues el puro taquito así con frijoles y la carnita. You are going to eat. You are going to eat a real Mexican
Si, senor.
with beans.
With beans? Nice. Alright guys, well, this cruise ship showed up this morning, and as you can see, this is no longer the case. Yeah, well, time to start moving. When the cruise ships show up in the remote section and ferry their passengers to land and set up it looks like a quinceañera or something over here, it's time for me to move on. My plan is to start heading north. I'm feeling good about it actually. 2 days here was fun, and now it's time to go explore again, so let's go.
At times like these, it really helps to remember It's not goodbye, it's see you later. We'll be back. All right, we just left Agua Verde. I think I'm gonna get on the Baja Divide Trail here. Some of the reports that I'm reading on iOverlander suggest that this route that I'm about to do is mostly clear sailing, but then there's a section that's like apparently really, really tough. That said, most of the people on iOverlander are driving like vans, let's be honest. So there's quite a possibility that they're overestimating it. And let's hope that's the case. One report said I'm gonna need about 5 to 6 hours, maybe more. It's 2:42, so I don't have that much time. I'll have to camp on the road if that's the case. But I'm gonna challenge myself here and go remote. I've got a full tank of gas, enough food and beer for at least a couple of nights, and probably longer than that. But yeah, let's check this out and see what it's like. We should be able to get up into the mountains here, and that'll be a cool experience. I can't wait to see what Baja has in store around the next corner. I hear the mountains calling. Stitch. As I started to head out into the deep desert, that familiar feeling started to set in. The wide open road. My confidence was growing. And then Baja did what Baja does. All right, guys, this route I took is pretty cool. It's actually some pretty technical wheeling. The guidebook said 5 to 6 hours, which for a van or, you know, a regular 4x4, I guess, that's definitely what I would expect. Some people are going to struggle on that. That said, for us, it wasn't too bad. There was a truck halfway up the ascent up this that we climbed up this mountain here that looks like it had broken down, and they stuck some rocks under it and abandoned it. You could tell that this road is not traveled that much, and I think most people who do travel it on the Baja Divide Trail are traveling it north to south. So with that, I think we're taking the harder way because we were climbing, and we had to climb up out of this valley onto the top of this mountain, and there was a lot of washouts, a lot of uneven terrain, some sketchy spots where there was rocks hanging above us, some rocks in the road that we had to go around and not fall off the side of a cliff. So yeah, anyway, it's what an incredible experience. I'm so glad that I decided to come out and solo this section. It's definitely challenging, but I'm in my comfort zone. I'm in my element, so I don't feel like I'm in a tough spot. And honestly, now that we're through that section, which I think was the section that everyone was complaining about on iOverlander, we should be able to get down to the main road pretty quick, and then it actually carries on past that, and that should be fun. I think we'll probably end up doing that section as well. But you can see the road is, you won't be able to tell from the drone, it's just not as obvious, but if you look ahead, you can kind of tell what we're dealing with here a little bit better. Look at the rocks that are all, you know, jagged rocks and all kinds of uneven stuff. The truck's bouncing all over the place. So it's pretty technical and slow moving, and I'm digging it. This is exactly what I was looking for. As I descended down from this mountaintop, I took a quick look at the clock. I realized that it was getting late in the day, and I started to wonder if there was open road ahead of me. You see, the last 30 kilometers had been very slow moving. Maybe it was 50. I needed to cover ground. As the terrain adjusted, I saw a more open road, albeit still very rocky. This section was beautiful. The red rock and dust made things more arid than ever. but I was able to maintain a faster pace, which was good, because I still had hundreds of kilometers to go to complete this stage. It was late in the day and I started to wonder if I would need to camp on the side of this road. There was so much rock, I wasn't even sure where I'd be able to stop. Keep going, cover more distance. See what's around the next corner. Don't stop. That turned out to be the right decision. What is this oasis? Am I dreaming? Is this a mirage? Or is this real?
Holy, we've descended into like a little oasis. There's palm trees. This is crazy. Where are we? Look at this.
As I drove off into the sunset, I had the realization that I probably should have stopped at that oasis. I was in for a long night. Alright, it's about midnight. I can't remember where we cut it off, but had to do another hour and a half, almost 2 hours back to the coast. And I thought it was going to be a pretty chill road. It's marked as a federal highway, even though it's dirt. And when I started heading out of, I think it's San Idris, it was pretty chill, but the road just got horrible. So it was quite a run. Thank God I've got my Baja Designs light bar. I've just made it back to the coast and just rolled into some free camping here at sort of the bottom of the Bay de Concepcion. And I'm gonna get some rest. I'm gonna get a beer, get some rest. I got a lot of driving ahead of me, and that one was pretty intense. The book says that is sort of like a 3-day kind of route that I just did, and I did it in 6 hours. So yeah, truck's working great, but I don't want to push it too hard. So I'm gonna get camp set up and have a beer and go to bed, and we'll talk in the morning. Alright guys, it's the next day, and last night was quite the rally. I ended up coming out in the dark, thank God for that Baja Designs light bar. The section that I thought would be gnarly was pretty gnarly. It was pretty remote, lots of hill climbs, but then when I got down onto what I thought was the main road, taking that back out to the coast was actually far more gnarly. I've never seen so many washouts. It must be just completely destroyed based on the desert racing and trophy trucks that come through there. I kind of feel bad for the locals. I passed a few that were having such a hard time. Anyway, I made the decision to come back out to the coast, and that was sort of a game day decision or an on-the-field decision. I was thinking I might try to make the stretch up through San Ignacio along the west-hand coast and like split up to the next part of the trail off-road, but when I looked at the gas mileage, even though I could do it, there just wasn't a lot of gas out there, and I had enough in the tank by maybe 2 kilometers, but with the jerry cans I probably could have made it. That said, it was late and I didn't really want to camp on the trail with the scorpions and the rattlesnakes. I much prefer to camp by the ocean if I can. Anyway, this morning I've gotten some work done. I'm working through this leg of the trip and trying to manage that at the same time. And today I need to make a decision whether or not I head back across to the Pacific coast and go through all that terrain again. Hopefully it's not quite as gnarly as the road that I took out. Or do I push farther north and try one of the other 2 sections? I'm kind of on the fence about it, to be honest with you. I think I have the time, but at the same time I'm feeling kind of rushed to start moving and heading north. It's hard to kind of balance the urge to go slow and experience things with the need to get home, especially once you start working. So anyway, I'm battling those demons, but yesterday was a beautiful day. I'm gonna get on the road today and just start heading north and make some progress, and I'll have to make some decisions maybe after I gas up, see how I feel. I got a few more work meetings this afternoon. No big issues that I found so far with the truck. There was a lot of squeaking and stuff, and so I was trying to take my time while still going at a good pace. That said, on the way out yesterday, I did manage to bend the Starlink mount. I smoked it off a tree, which was bound to happen. Anyway, if anyone's asking, people always ask me, how is that thing not falling off? There you go, I smoked it off a tree, the mount bent, but the Starlink's still on there. So anyway, that's not a big deal. It's just a small piece of metal that I can fix when I get back to Canada. Anyway, gonna try to figure out what's up. I'm just getting aired down right now, and then I gotta make some decisions about the next leg of the trip. And yeah, it's probably the most difficult part of my day is where do I go and what sections do I rally, and can I do that while also managing my work responsibilities. I'm mostly heading out during the afternoon after my meetings and work are done. So yeah, check out this hair. You can definitely tell that I've been Baja and haven't had a shower in a while. I've got the salt, the ocean salted hair going on. Anyway, let's figure things out and get going. Alright, well, Mexico's been pretty awesome so far, but I'm not really digging this. It's kind of like the local landfill. Every place has its dark secrets, I guess. Alright, just started on a portion of section 3, and it's not a great look. Just went through what looks like potentially the local dump. There's like cows' hooves and stuff. It's kind of crazy to see some of this stuff out here, but it's another country, another world, so I'm not here to judge, I'm just here to experience it. We're gonna keep on going. As is true of any rally, you need to keep momentum on your side. So the next day I set out for the next section of the Baja 1000 Trail, knowing that I had just been through hell, but wanting more of it. There's something addictive about these deserts, and the punishment it puts you through. Something that compels you to keep going, even when your body and everything around you is saying stop. Remember when I told you about that great audacity? Just like Icarus, sometimes the rally brings you back to reality. Not everything can go right, and you have to deal with it.
All right, guys, rolled into camp last night again pretty late. Set up on these bluffs overlooking the ocean that I found on iOverlander. The trail in was pretty cool. Lots of sand and silt. Straight mobbing for the most part until we hit the mountains over there, and then it slowed down quite a bit. I was in the dark. There's a lot of washboards and stuff. So pretty good. I'm pretty far away from everything right now. I'm probably 200 kilometers away from the closest town, and even that's a pretty small town. That said, coming into camp, coming down the hill last night, check engine light come on. I thought maybe it's one of the usual ones. I get this camshaft position sensor one all the time, and it doesn't really have much of a consequence. I'm waiting on a part. But yeah, this one might be a little more serious. It's a P20EE. It's the catalytic conversion system, the SCR, selective catalytic reduction system, I think, which is basically what reduces emissions, is performing before threshold. So at the end of the day, I don't really care right now whether my vehicle is optimal for emission standards. They don't even have those in Mexico. The problem is if it gets bad enough, the vehicle could derate or go into limp mode. They build all this really stupid emission stuff into these trucks now, and I got to get it deleted. I haven't had it deleted, and they don't even have DEF down here, frankly, so I had to bring DEF with me. So anyway, long story short, if it derates or goes into limp mode, it's going to be a long rip out of here. Won't be ripping very much. So I'm going to get going early this morning and see where I'm at with that. There's a couple things I could try. I could try to force a regen, and I can also potentially put some new DEF in, but we'll see. I'm gonna get rolling here though. I want to know where I'm at. So I got a long drive back to Canada.
All right, completed section 3 of the trail. I'm now heading north to San Felipe. I decided not to do section 2. The reason for that is the check engine code that I got last night is actually one where things could kind of go bad quickly. It means that the DEF injector or catalytic converter, basically, the SGR that's used to kind of convert the exhaust to, I think, nitrous oxide, may be malfunctioning or was malfunctioning. My friend Mario, whose place I stayed at the beginning of the trip, south of Ensenada, he works at a Jeep dealership, so early this morning he got me on the phone with a head mechanic there, and his take on it was, it could go either way, but you probably don't want it to go the wrong way while you're out in the woods, because effectively what will happen is if the DEF isn't injecting correctly, and the truck senses that it's either low on DEF or not getting DEF, the truck will basically go into a countdown mode where you only have a certain amount of kilometers to get to a dealer, and then the truck won't restart. If that were to happen, it would be pretty bad. I'm a long way still from any form of dealer. So with that, I decided to play it a little bit safe and skip section 2. I'm going to head up to San Felipe and camp at a spot. I think it's called Punta Final or Punta Final. I got this spot off of Marco from Overland X's video about Baja, and then that should line me up to go up through San Felipe across Mexicali. And as much as I want to go over to San Diego and see Mario and go watch a ball game with him, I think I'm going to have to start the drive north through the States to Canada. There'll still be a few more stops along the way, but I will probably be exiting Mexico today's Wednesday, probably by Friday night. So only a couple nights left. the Mexico portion's winding down here, and then I'll end up starting the long drive home. I'm a little disappointed, but I'm also feeling pretty satisfied with all of the trails that I got to run. I really wanted to run section 2 this time, but it's just not worth the risk with the emission. And then I'll deal with the emissions when I get home, come back in November and run the whole trail top to bottom. Yeah, I'm gonna plug along here and get myself to the camp spot a little early, and then I'm gonna make some food and catch up on some more work, and enjoy the sights while I'm at it. We'll check in a bit. Well, looks like we may have dodged a bullet. So far, no more check engine light. Let's put that one behind us in the rearview mirror. We've got an awesome destination to camp at tonight, thanks to Marco from Overland X.
Everybody. I decided not to film last night. I rolled into camp pretty early. We're kind of coming to the end of our trip here. It's starting to feel a little bit like Groundhog Day. Get up every morning, drive, beautiful beach, beautiful sunset, wake up, beautiful sunrise, drive. I haven't been filming quite as much the last little bit of the trip between section 3 and here. I'm just south of San Felipe at a place called Punta Fanao. I heard about this place from Marco, who's Overland X, who has an awesome YouTube channel and actually comes down here and does events all the time. So I just want to say thank you, Marco. This was a beautiful spot. I really enjoyed it. There's fish jumping in the water over here, and then there's these cool bluffs, as you can see, and then more water over here. And you have to drive across this sandbar to get out to this spot, which is pretty cool. I'm only about 4.5 hours from the border, so I got to make a decision whether I cross the border today or I cross it tomorrow. And I probably will meet up with Brian from Jackson Meadows Lodge. We talked about getting some hot springs, and then pick up the trailer, and it's a long trip north. Let's keep rolling, and let's keep finding ourselves north. Rally on. It's one day at a time. morning, guys. As you can probably hear, I'm camped not too far off of the highway. I'm taking Highway 395 north. And I rolled into camp last night pretty late, like 12, well, would have been about 2 a.m. I did about 12 hours of driving yesterday. I started kind of midway in Baja, and now I'm kind of at the lower end of the Sierras, or midway up California. And it was quite a long drive. When I'm doing a long haul like that and I'm rolling in super dark, I'm not too picky about camp spots. So what I do is I use an app called iOverlander, and this isn't an ad, it's just a well-known app for boondockers, van lifers, people who are traveling like this. And it lists out lots of like different campsites, gas stations, whatever, and it's all crowdsourced. So I found this spot on there, and it's not awesome. You know, it's just a regular old kind of what I call BLM camping spot, but it worked perfectly. It's there's that view of the mountains, and nice flat spot for the AluCab. So yeah, it worked perfect. I'm gonna pull on a few more hours this morning. My day's gonna go one of two ways. I'm either gonna drive for about 4 hours and meet up with Brian, or if I don't hear back from him, I might just keep going. And I love you, Brian, but if you don't text me back, I'm probably just gonna keep going. Originally, I thought I wouldn't be getting back to Canada till like mid this week or late this week. But honestly, once I set my sights on coming back, I'm a determined individual, so I tend to long haul it. But it's still like another 19 hours. So, you know, it's 8 a.m. now, 3 p.m. tomorrow. I mean, that's a lot of driving. And I'm pretty good at that stuff, but at the same time, if there's an opportunity to take a break in the middle and chill at some hot springs, see Brian and the crew, I probably will take that, and then I'll arrive home later tomorrow night. Let's just see how today plays out. I'm gonna wheel out of here back to the highway, and then keep on heading north, and you know, see what things play out.
What's up, buddy?
Whoa, look who I found!
Yeah.
What's up?
Sandy. What's up?
What's up? All right, it's on. We met up with Brian. Brian is from Jackson Meadows Lodge, but also works with Sendy app. Sendy app is a cool action sports app, and works on it with Travis Rice and Cam Zink. So we're gonna go to these hot springs, and he's got the side-by-side. I'm gonna try and get the truck out there. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys, I made it back to America, and look who I found. Brian.
What up?
From last week's Ruby Tracks, and we're heading out on another adventure. He's got the Sendy side-by-side. If you haven't heard of Sendy, go check it out. And you'll have to check in for next week's video to see what we're up to today. So, if you enjoyed the Baja trip, make sure you hit like, and don't forget to subscribe. It costs you nothing. It means a lot to me, helps us keep this rally going. With that, we'll see you at the top.
Oh, you thought it was over? Sorry to disappoint you. You should know by now, the rally doesn't end. Let's go.
Goggles on.
Goggles on!
Alright, I lost this picture when I
I'm surprised I made it